ladies and gentlemen, Conelanders here. Welcome back to the Conelanders TT Cup. This week for Tsukuba to this place. Enjoy. Alright, well, not the best of starting positions this week. Very, very close competition at the top, and I struggled to get a clean lap into the second half of the qualifying, so 5th is where it is. But it's very close, 1st through 7th or so, all within a few tenths. So it's going to be very competitive on a very small track that I have no idea what the passing zones are going to be like. I don't know if it's going to be mayhem or if it's just going to be parade-like because there's nowhere super easy to pass. We'll have to see. But the start's going to be pretty wild, I believe. And off we go. Someone just flashed in front of me. 3 wide, getting booped to the inside. Tater, of course. We are just drawn to each other. Make sure we don't get hit in the back. Bang, that's a little off line there. Tigers, side, please! Well, that was bad for us. Now we're buried into the less stable half of the field. Let's try and fight back as much as we can. Drove that a bit. I have no idea where to use the boost. I assume out of the airbag. I'm guessing that's the correct place to do that. A little bit late, Isaac. Please don't put Reno. Let's close in a hurry. I see 3 cars ahead of me that I feel like I need to get around by the end of this race. Someone's off again. It's Peter Rabbit. And that got Tim off as well. And there's contact again. For no good reason. Hey, powers. I did lose a little time on that one. Powers is wide here. I gotta watch this thing from watching out though. Yep, like that. Try and outbreak him into one. Did I not get over under? Hey. Oh, buddy. Pushed on exit real bad. This is what I'm worried about with this track. It's so tight. There's very little room for anybody to be offline. It's easy to get caught up in each other's mess. It really stinks that we got caught up in the early incident. Really, no fault of our own, but it is what it is. Try and recover from it. You never know, maybe we could close in at the end of the race. It would take better driving than that, though. That is for sure. Quite a bit of pace on Tim up here, so I feel like I can close in on him. But I don't know if I'm going to make it up to my usual crew up there. I guess this answers my question of, will this race be mayhem for being too small of a track? The answer was definitely yes. I don't know if it's lack of focus or what, but I'm really struggling to find grip with the car too at the moment. Not really good in qualifying, despite the poor qualifying effort. It's one of those tracks that you pay for overdriving the entries. I need to do better about not doing that. That was much better there. Beautiful. Looks like Tim's maybe not using ABS. A lot of lockup for him into one there. I don't know how I feel about not using ABS in a car like this. That's, you know, these brakes are designed around ABS existing. So when you take that away from it, it seems like it's going to be hard to drive on the limit. I'm not going to get the most out of it. That was much better. I'm getting myself redialed in now. We got plenty of time to close in on Tim. Especially if he's going to do things like that. But those front three, I think podium chances are out the window today. James is just disconnected, which is odd. What just happened to him? Maybe I missed something because I didn't even realize we were in 5th, to be honest. I didn't realize he wasn't up there. Maybe there was early contact, or maybe James is just being James. He threatened to stop racing with us because he said he was making the race for the lead not interesting. No. It's not what this is about. I just want to have races. I don't care if it's for 4th, 15th, 1st. Just having a race with somebody is fun. He keeps missing this last turn. Quite a bit. Misstep from him there too. Probably feeling the pressure now. Front three aren't battling, which is bad for us. It means we pretty much will have no opportunity to race them this race. Track is just so tight. Not like the cool kind. Like there's just nowhere to have a different line versus somebody else and be able to maintain speed. James is back. We've got a technical problem. Mr. VR. Actually, there's quite a few VR racers intermixed in the field. I don't think it's 50-50, but probably pretty close. Lots of gap around us too, so there's not really any pressure here. I'm gonna try and not use a boost here and see if I can just use the toe. Looks like he was on the boost. Keep over driving this turn down here, which he did it again. I think is going to end up being our main opportunity. Just gonna try and keep him busy for a little while here. Keep pressure on. Wait for the right opportunity to make this pass. We've had enough contact in this race. Let's not add any here. This battle for second in points between me, Magnet, and Potato is going to get real interesting soon. I don't know what's about to happen with him here. He's offline. Good recovery. Take the wider entries than him. He's going to be on the boost as well, but we've been entering this turn better than he has either way. I'm wide on exit. You might get a run down into 1 again. Watch out for the boot. Nice hold on the outside there. Nice. Just to focus on hit my marks. At the end of the day, this track usually serves its purpose in the world as a time attack track, and you can see why it's better suited for that, for sure. And I can see why it's so popular for, you know, the Japanese tuner time attack series and stuff, and why it all became very popular. Because it's really just the correct size for it. You don't need a car that can go 200 miles an hour. You need a car that can go, you know, 120 as fast as possible and make a lot of downforce at low speeds. Most of these turns are pretty low speed. And yeah, it's just a lower, I think a lower risk factor versus the big tracks. It's not quite your Nürburgring, but it still feels and drives like a real road course, even though it is rather tiny. It's pretty wide too, which is good. It gives you some flexibility. Most of the real small road courses are very narrow. Even the one that we do our autocrosses on, it's only as wide as a 2-lane road, so there's not a lot of room to move around. And if you were to do racing there, which they don't do any side-by-side racing at the firm, but if they were to, there's just really not enough room for any kind of passing opportunity or anything like that. So why this track's a little bit wide, I think there's just too many turns per length of track for it to be really raceable. And it's pretty close to Gym Night up there. That could be a fun battle. So one thing this car is pretty good about is if you do get hit, pretty easy to correct it and keep going, versus like a GT3 car, which they're so fragile. Like, it seems like they're so on edge that any contact sends them wildly spinning. Different world here, different ballgame. I didn't do a ton of testing to figure out what car I wanted to use for this series. It was kind of just a reaction to our enjoyment of the TCR stuff. But I wanted to use something that was a official Kuno's car because they tend to be a little bit more predictable and a little bit easier to manage stuff with. Car had plenty of skins available, which made things easy. And it's pretty TCR-like. I do think it was a good choice. I've really enjoyed driving it. It's a nice middle ground between street cars or entry-level race cars and the big boy race cars. It's a good place for this kind of series because we have such a varied group, and probably always will for anything Conelanders related. It's going to be a huge spread of experience and skill. There's a little understeer there. The next track we're going to is dramatically different. Every other week we've done the same track with 2 layouts. The other layout of this track is just shorter, and that's the last thing we need. We would need a longer layout. So the other track we're going to is kind of in the realm of fantasy. It's an old Grand Prix track that we used in one of those car versus car battles, Thompson, and it's very old school. It's It almost drives more like a rally track than it drives like a road course. And I'm looking forward to that one. I don't know what kind of race we're going to have there, but it's a ton of fun to drive. Hopefully we can do better than Magnet Potato. Obviously we're going to lose points to them here, unfortunately. Tell you what, I'm not really getting away from Tim in any way. I think maybe him following me has probably, you know, mentored some improvement in his lines. He is very new to this kind of sim racing. As you can see, just in the short amount of races we've had so far, he's developed quite a bit. Oh, Piker back up to 6th. He's making his recovery. We're missing some of the fast people this week. We're missing Squid. Of course, we're missing Games for whatever happened to him. So we could have been in a lot worse shape, is what I'm saying. Tim within 9/10 there. I am definitely leaving a little bit on the table right now, just trying to keep safe, I don't want to make any mistakes and slip, let him through. Passing somebody here without a really good run is going to be difficult. I've also got a ton of these boosts left that I guess I should use. I didn't consider that he might have been using those to make up that gap. I feel like I hardly even got to use it there. It's too late on the button. Well, I don't know what happened to James, but that might actually like tear this points situation wide open. He's gonna lose 20 points or something like that here. Probably not that many because we had some no-shows. Still will be very interesting. If we really want to hold this position on Tim, which I think I'll be able to do. Unless any shenanigans. Nose walk out a little bit there. That was a good lap. Yeah, I think if I can stay in the low to mid 58s, we'll be in good shape. He's definitely picked up the pace some. When it comes to getting better at a racetrack, there is literally nothing better. There's no better learning tool than following somebody faster than you. It's like lap traffic's playing a little role here because the track's so short. I have to use the boost. Das Boost. Like having that blue light as we're in the middle of a turn didn't really help us, just made it understeer more on exit. Yeah, it's close. Gotta remember to boost. Have plenty to do it every lap from here on out. Just meandered off track a little bit there. Hit it right at the apex. Yeah. Boy, if Piker had more laps, he probably would have got here. 2 to go here, I think. A little wide. Oh, that was nice. This is the return of Gem Knight. I've been waiting for it. Every race, I figure the switch would flip for him and things would click. I think it's taken a little while to get back into the Assetto Corsa field because he's been so heavily in the iRacing stuff. Magnet turning fast laps though. Getting over. 4/10 apart. Wish I could have been up there in that battle today, but it is what it is. Yeah, we got a good gap there. Easy through this section. Yeah, I think he overdrove this last lap a little too much. So we should be in good shape. Despite that little bobble. There. He would have to, I don't know that it's even physically possible for him to get a run on us here. He would have to like flat out through this turn somehow. He's trying it. See the back end of his car slipping out. But we secure 4th. I mean, yeah, that was kind of, it is what it is. Gem Knight does win the race. Kind of a meh one for me from what happened early, but a good little battle with him there, and hopefully we salvaged enough points out of the day. And we'll move on.